take a look at two cars that I think some people forget are kind of in the same category. So we often compare the Sorento to the Sportage, but we also compare the Seltos as a Sportage replacement. So today we're going to take a look at the Kia Seltos SX, which is here, and we're going to compare that to the Kia Sorento LX Plus. They're similar in price, and these are legit Honda CR-V replacements, Honda CR-V competitors, essentially. So alternatives is, I guess, the better word. So we'll get into that. If you're just watching for the very first time and you're not live with us, skip ahead to the 3-minute mark. That's where we get into the content, and I'll explain things further. In the meantime, we're going to let our live audience build, and I'm just going to show you, if you want to join us live, how to do that. So let's jump over here, and we'll flip the camera around. Hello to some of the regulars jumping on. I just realized you guys all say hi to each other. I always don't pay attention to this point in the video. All right, here we go. We are on our YouTube page. If you want to join us and you want to see what's going on our live videos, go to our YouTube page, Brantford Kia. Just search for Brantford Kia. Hit the refresh page, or go to it exactly at 2:00 p.m. and you should see our live video right here. There's a little live tab. If you don't see it, click the videos tab, and it'll be the very first video with the live tab there as well. We're going to click into that. Probably going to have to watch an ad for a second. Ooh, what's this for? It's a goat. It's a Jeep commercial. There's a goat in a Jeep. Oh, I like Wranglers. Okay. Nice Wrangler. Okay. Skip the ads. Moving on. All right. So there we go. I'm just going to expand this up a little bit so I can read your comments from across the room when we get there. I do appreciate all your comments. All right. So we got another minute and a half to kill. Let's talk. All right. So you guys have been really helping me. I don't think you realize how much it means to have likes and comments and somewhat regular views. Last night, overnight, we got 40,000 views in a single day. That's pretty good for us. So that's thanks to some of your regulars and just the amount of commenting and early likes that we get. That all helps the algorithms, and that helps us. It helps me. So I appreciate it. I really do. That's just, yeah, my way of saying thanks, everyone. That's really nice. So again, I'm going to beg for likes every now and then. That's helpful to me, and I do appreciate all of your comments and that kind of thing. 40 seconds to go. What's going on? Yesterday, we did a kind of a boring video, but we do them all the time when we have new information on vehicles. So we finally got new information on the Kia, well, I'm going to call it Kia Sedona. I don't think it's going to be called Kia Sedona, but we have new information on the new Kia Minivan. We've ordered several of them now, and they are on order. They're coming in, and we finally have information of what's coming. So look for the February auto show time, whatever the virtual auto show is in Canada. That's where Kia will announce likely a new name, but maybe not a new name. It doesn't have a name right now. So they'll give it a name. They'll tell us about it there, and then of course we'll have a lot more to say. Anything I find out, of course, I just put it on video. Stinger as well. 2022 Stinger. We have information on that, so that's all coming. All right, we're at the 3-minute mark now. If you are a Honda CR-V fan, like I said, these are two alternatives. I'm not going to tell you have to buy this instead of your CR-V. So if you're in the comments and you're like militantly pro Honda, that's cool. I'm fine. Like, you can buy a Honda. Doesn't bother me. However, if you're just kind of looking for an alternative, maybe you realize that the Honda CR-V the price has crept up, or there's just something that you want to look at what else is out there. These are two really good options. And I know what's going to happen. The first thing somebody's going to say is, well, what about Honda reliability? No problem. Just research Kia's reliability lately. We're right up there or even above Honda on many, many, many studies, and actually often above Honda. So there's that. And then I hear you're going to say resale value. Well, residual value of the Seltos here, last I checked, was significantly higher than the competitive Honda HR-V, for instance, like 10 points, 9 or 10 points higher last time I checked. So residual values is not a huge Honda advantage anymore. Neither is reliability, and you're paying a pretty good price. So let's take a look at two cars. That's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to show you two cars that are alternatives to the Honda CR-V, and you can decide for yourself if that's an option for you or between these two cars. So that's where we're headed today. All right, let me flip the camera around. We'll show you the vehicles. Come on, camera. All right, so here we go. What we're going to do today is we're going to spend about the next 25 minutes to half an hour looking at these two vehicles, and we'll show you a price range. We're going to show you a lot of things. We're going to talk about powertrains, fuel efficiency, all those kinds of things. And we're going to go driver's seat. We're going to go look at rear seat. We're going to look at the trunk as well. Hey, there's Tim. Tim's our new delivery driver. Long story. We'll explain that one later. Anyways, we're going to talk about these two cars, and that's where we're going to go is through these videos really in depth, through these vehicles really in depth. That's why we spend about a half an hour. So grab yourself a snack, a beverage. If you want to hit that watch later and watch this later, I'm cool with that. Whatever works for you. All right, real quickly, let's jump down to my computer here. I want to show you why we're looking at, let's just show you flat out. I don't like to run Honda ads, but there's Honda Canada's webpage. Now, Honda CR-V, the LX two-wheel drive. We're not even going to show you that because you don't want a two-wheel drive. If you do, we got options there too. But you're going to look at the all-wheel drive because that's what these vehicles are. You're 34.5. That's their own website. I'm not telling you their price. That's what it says. 34,576. So let's take a look at the Kia Seltos. We are looking at the top of the line Seltos here. So you can go way less expensive if you want, but we're looking at the SX Turbo here today. Top of the line, 32,695. You're going to get a whole lot of tech in this car. Really nice stuff and easy to use tech. So don't be like scared of it. Great tech, great safety, great kind of thing. And it's less expensive than an LX CRV. Now, what we're going to do is show you the Sorento as well, because Sorento is also a four-cylinder SUV. It's considerably larger. So as you would expect compared to the Seltos, you're going to lose some tech. And you do. But 33,995, you're still under the price of that LX CRV. So I just think these are two great alternatives. Whatever your preference is, if you want the CRV, buy the CRV. But if you're looking for alternatives, here's two right here. Let's dive in and take a look. Now, where I'm going to start is the Seltos. This is probably the closest competitor. Of course, we have the Kia Sportage as well, Sportage if you're from the States. We didn't pull that one in just because I thought this would be an interesting comparison to do just as is. So this is our SX Seltos. It has a 1.6-liter turbo engine, it's 175 horsepower, 195 foot-pounds of torque. Now, all of our engines that have turbos, you get all of that torque low in the rev range, which means they feel punchy when you drive. This car is going to have a more sporty feel than something like a Honda CR-V. Why is that important? It's important for handling. When you maneuver and you swerve around things, you want a car that stays planted, and the Sport or the Seltos is excellent at that. However, it's also a very comfortable ride. Let's take a look at what you get in here. You do have powered seats down here. This is what they call an artificial leather. It is not a real leather. I happen to prefer it over real leather. It's a little bit grippy, but it's also very soft. It's kind of hard to describe, but it feels very, very nice. And I'm a big fan of just the way it feels and the way it looks. And of course, if you don't like leather because, let's say, it gets too hot or too cold, and maybe that's why you're looking at a Honda CR-V, you don't want the leather at this level. Well, you can get these seats warmed up by using your rump roasters, heated seats, or you can use the seat ventilation as well. So what's cool about this is you say, okay, but I take friends out and I don't want them to sit in the cold seats. Well, no problem. When this coronavirus is done and you're taking your friends out again, you have heated rear seats as well. So we'll show you that in a little bit. That's a sort of a spoiler alert. Multiple drive modes, not just an econ mode like you would have in a Honda. So let's just take a look over here. This is your display screen. We're going to go into this more. Ignore that fuel efficiency number. It might be accurate, actually, but I'm able to get fantastic fuel efficiency in this car. Dealership cars always idle, so they tend to have higher fuel efficiency numbers sitting on the lot here and in my videos than they do in real life. But again, that might be fairly accurate. Now, let's look at the drive modes real quick. Normal, Smart, and Sports. Now, Smart is essentially your eco mode, and that Smart mode really adapts to the way you drive. So the car will drive the way you want it to, and it's a really good system. You have a quick shifting dual clutch transmission. You have this nice display over here. This entire center area is actually a display screen, and I'm filming a screen right now. So filming a screen is not a great way to show clarity, but it really is a clear screen. And there's a lot of options in here. You can cycle through your menu. You've got navigation. We'll talk about that. Lane keep assist, that's standard in this car. Driver attention alert is standard. There's your all-wheel drive system. These are little bar graphs that will fill out. Up to 50% of the power can go to the rear. So if it's 100% of the power to the front, those bar graphs up front will fill up. But you can have those about half full and this half full. And that's 50% of the power. So again, a very smart, adaptive all-wheel drive system. Honda always used to have that slip and grip system. The front wheels had to slip before the rear wheels grip. That's what Honda always used to do. I think they've updated their system since then. This does the opposite. This is it starts out in four-wheel drive, and it'll back off the power from the rear wheels as you maintain traction. If you turn around corners or do various things, depending on what you're doing, it will assume you might need all-wheel drive traction. It will give you all-wheel drive traction before. To be very honest, I'm a fan of our four-wheel drive system. I think it's a better system. Now, you can debate that with me, and I'm fine with that. We can talk about why that means, but that is another thing that you have. And then, of course, tire pressure monitors. And you've got all kinds of settings in here. We can go through all kinds of different things. There's your drive modes, which can help you drive economically, transmission temperature, just lots of stuff in there. The point is you have a really clear, easy to read screen there. Your speedometer is permanently digital, as well as the easy to read gauges there. Clean, simple look. Over here, you have a 10.25-inch screen. Now, you see a lot of glare there because the shipping plastic is still on this one. I'm going to take that off. Sometimes things look a little more glary on camera. I will say that Some people don't like the look of this raised up thing. The Honda one maybe sets it more in the dash. The reason they do this is you have a nice lower dash, and they can tilt this on a different angle than you would put it on the dash, which eliminates glare. And you can see from this angle, not a lot of glare. Navigation over here. Your radio stations are over here. AM, FM, and satellite radio. It's a Bose audio system, has HD radio. When you get satellite radio, of course, when you buy a car with us from satellite radio, you get 3 free months of satellite radio, Bluetooth streaming, all that kind of stuff. And of course, this one right now is your weather, but we could make that into a different widget. We could change all of these widgets around and play with that. And you can swipe over here and see all kinds of different things. UVO Intelligence, that's a cell phone app. You can remote start the car from your cell phone app. You can also remote start it from the key fob. Lots of different things. HD radio data. I don't know if it'll work because we're indoors right now, but let's give it a try. Yeah, we can't do that. That's your Doppler radar map. Ever want to know what the weather's like where you are? Again, this building is sort of insulated, but you can see HD radio data. Here's some road work that's going on in the area. All of this can be filtered into your navigation system, even fuel prices in the area. So a lot of stuff in here that you don't always get on some of the other cars. And Doppler radar is my actually favorite one. Too bad it doesn't show right now. All right, Gabby said hi earlier. So some of you are saying hi to Gabby. Gabby's one of our top salespeople right now. Coming down here, simple little vents. You've got an automatic climate control system. Now, again, because I'm filming with a camera with a single eye, it looks like there's a lot more glare. Let's turn this on. There's your climate control system here. And what I love about it is when you set the climate system to the automatic mode, sometimes the fan can really crank up and it gets a little bit noisy in here. Well, what the automatic mode does here is you can cycle it down so it'll still reach 23 degrees. It'll take a little bit more time to do that because the fan won't go above a lower line, but it keeps it a little quieter in here. So just a real nice option when you're sitting there doing things. Now, again, on my car, I think it's the same on this car. When I make a phone call or something like that, it will dim down some of these things so we can still hear stuff. Down over here, really cool features as well. Wireless phone charging pad. You've got a wireless charging phone. Drop it there. It will always be charged. It'll be a little light right there that will charge it for you. And you've got places to plug in for your Android Auto and Apple CarPlay right down here, and as well as a charge port there, and a regular 12-volt port if you want to have anything that charges on that. Transmission in this one is a dual clutch transmission. It's a fast shifting but still very efficient transmission. Makes it fun to drive, makes it efficient, very nice. And you have a powered or electronic parking brake. So real basics, that's inside the dash. Like I said, Bose audio system is something you're not going to see. Over here on the steering wheel, you have a lane keep system, which is this button right there, my finger's on. So Honda's lane keep assist system, when you touch up against a lane marker, the steering wheel just vibrates like this. It drives me nuts. I drove a mini Honda Odyssey like that. So the lane keep assist system on a Honda, in my mind, adds stress to the drive. It just you do everything you can to avoid those lines. On the Kia system, the car actually steers itself. So you keep your hand on the wheel, it'll just nudge you left, nudge you right, a little tiny bit to keep you centered in the lane. Now, when you're centered in the lane, what happens if there's no lane marker on the right-hand side, or for instance, if you're driving on a country road? Well, that's when you have lane follow assist. It uses the car in front of you. It can make an artificial line on the side based on, seeing gravel and other things. It's a smart system. It also keeps you centered in the lane. And why is that useful? Because you and I tend to drive and go, oh yeah, what's going on over here? And then we come back. And meanwhile, we swerved out and we've hit the motorcycle, and that's not good. I used to drive a motorcycle, and I don't want people swerving out to me, and I've seen that happen. It can't happen in this car when you're using our safety systems because it'll keep you centered in the lane. I mean, it can happen, but it'll keep you centered. Heads-up displays are really hard to film, so this isn't going to be an accurate description. It just it's hard to get a focus on there, and it's hard to get it to be the right size, but you can have all of your navigation information up there. You can have your blind spot detection information up there. You can have all kinds of things, including your lane keep and your speed up there. All of that is on a heads-up display in this model. And again, those aren't things you're getting on an LX CR-V, but you're getting that for a lesser priced car here. Automatic headlights, we'll talk about them later. They are LED headlights. Actually, let's turn them to full. Actually, we'll turn them on later. Automatic or electronic fog lights as well. The auto start stop system, if you're concerned about fuel efficiency, this car can turn itself off at stoplights and turn itself back on when you release the brake pedal. It doesn't have to be stoplights, but when you come to a stop. Let's just look again here. Hill descent control, if you're into that. Like I said, heated ventilated seats, the four-wheel drive lock button. You don't really have to hit that. The all-wheel drive system works well on its own, but if you want to lock all four wheels to spin exactly equally at all times at lower speeds, it can do that as well. So there's your basic overview of this car. Now let's go take a quick look at the Sorento. The Sorento is something that people don't always consider to be a CR-V competitor, but I do, because you get a lot of equipment. And again, we're under the price of a CR-V LX. And now we're into a 7-passenger, mid-size SUV, great room, brand new redesign for 2021. So again, if you haven't considered the Sorento in the past, that's fair. this one is a better car. It's a nicer back. There we go. Anyways, you still have LED headlights in the front here. So you've got lights over there that will show you again. We're going to show you the lighting in this video a little bit later, but we're going to jump across here. Now, cloth seats is what you want. Cloth seats is what you get. They're still height adjustable. Again, you're going to notice a general sense of more space up in this vehicle because it is a larger vehicle. So if you just wish you had a little bit more space for maybe your family or going to the cottage or camping or something like that, you can do that. This car can tow a tent trailer quite easily. It tows 2,800 pounds. And what I like is, again, this is a base model Sorento. There is no way to get a lower price Sorento. So there's no steely wheels or anything like that. There's no cheap dash. You have a nice digital display in here. A lot of the same information in this car as the other car. Tire pressure monitors there, speed limit there, or speed sign, your all-wheel drive system. You can cycle across to various menus. There's your driver attention warning. There's your lane keep assist. Again, very base model car. There's a whole bunch of settings in this car. Driver assistance, just to give you an example, we can do all sorts of different things to show you what's going on. Driver attention warning, forward safety. Let's just click that. Active assist, which is, I'll tell you about that in a second. Lane safety, we've got the lane keep assist, lane departure warning. So again, if you just want the warning from your lane, whoops, let's zoom back out. If you just want it to warn you, again, this car can steer itself as well. If you just want the warning, hey, you're touching the lane marker, it can just give you that. What most people find, though, is they drive this car away from the lot. They keep the lane keep on for a week. I tell people to try it for a week, and if you hate it, we'll turn it off. They try it for a week, and they absolutely love it because you don't have to think. You're still in control of your car, but every now and then, the car is just keeping you dead center in the lane. And it's funny when I drive a car like this with lane keep assist, and I drive my second car, which does not have it, you start realizing how much you just kind of wander in the lane when you're driving on your own, where when you drive this car on its own down the highway, you're going up to the cottage, a 5-hour trip or whatever it is, you're dead center in the lane the entire time. It's just such a good system, and it's intuitive. It doesn't freak you out. Just keeps it nice and simple. So a lot of features in here. We can show you more of them later, but the real thing I wanted to show you is, whoops, let me go back to here. Where am I? Oh, I was just going to try to show you the speedometer again. There we go. There we go. There's your speedometer. So you've got a really nice design digital display in there. Now, you don't have a 10.25-inch screen that you saw in the Seltos, but you do have a large 8-inch screen. And really, I think that's about as big as Honda makes them anyway. So if we're comparing to a CR-V, you get a big display screen here. What's cool about this one is we talked about Android Auto and Apple CarPlay in the other vehicle. This one has wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. What that means is you get in the car, your phone's in your pocket, you get a text message. Hey, you're on your way to Johnny's house, and you get a text message. Johnny says, hey, we're going to Matt's place. And you said, oh, okay, so I'll meet you at Matt's place. Then you say, okay, where's Matt's place? Or, we're going to go to the so-and-so restaurant. Okay, perfect. So you ask your phone, Google or Siri, you ask one of them which, take me to that restaurant. It tells you it's going to take 18 minutes. You're doing all of this wirelessly. And you text back your friend through your voice and you say, hey, I'm going to be 18 minutes till I get to that restaurant. All of that can be done here. You can stream your music through here, through your phone, and it's all wireless. So you never have to plug in your phone to have that feature, and that is a feature that will consistently update. So it's a great system, and that means you have navigation. Even in this car that doesn't come with factory nav, you can use your Google Maps, your Waze, your Apple Maps, all those kinds of things. And because it's wireless, you don't even think about it. You just speak to your Siri or to your Google, and that will bring it up. It's a huge feature that people forget about, and it's a great, great idea. Down here, this one has manual climate controls. Again, you're comparing to cheaper than an LX Honda CR-V. That's not a big deal to you, I think, right? If you get a manual control climate system, simple and easy to use. Come down here, nice little spot that covers up your stuff, but this is a big spot. There's a phone spot down here. You can see it kind of goes a little deeper on this side. So you set your phone down there. You have another little tiered area here where you can put your coins or everything else that you need. So big area there that's covered. You want to plug things in, USB, USB, and USB. You got 3 USB ports right there. We're going to talk a lot more about USB ports in this car because there's not just here. Heated seats, of course, they're standard. You get that there. Coming down here, all-wheel drive system. This is a little bit more of an advanced all-wheel drive system. We talked about drive modes before. You had the Eco, the Seltos is going to be a little bit more of a sporty ride than the CR-V. The car has a magic carpet ride. You can put it in comfort mode, and the suspension alone really smooths out the whole drive. So you've got an extra drive mode, and you've got terrain modes. You can specialize this car just for snow. Go to the cottage in the muddy road, put it in the mud mode. Get over to the beach, put it in the sand mode. You've got all things that will optimize the drive and all-wheel drive systems just for that that type of driving that you're doing. Down here's a cool button that turns on your camera if you're just in the park right now. What I'm going to do is just throw it in reverse as well, and you can see how clear our backup camera is. I like putting this camera up against the Honda system. They don't have as clear of a camera as us, generally speaking. So there's this, and of course, Honda brags about their multiple views. Well, we've got multiple views as well. There's a look straight down if you're hitching your trailer or something like that. So they pointed out a little bit more than we do, but we have the same thing in here. We talked about the steering wheel, cruise control, of course. You've still got that lane follow assist, separate from the lane keep assist, LED headlights, and again, a lot of space. So we're going to show you. We're going to take your questions right now. Then we're going to go show rear seat space and trunk space of both these cars. And we're going to show you some features back there because there are features in these cars that you're not going to find in a Honda LX, and these are less expensive. So when I get a chance on the Seltos SX, get a shot of the wheels and tires. I love the tires on my SX. Okay, let's do that right this second. Be aware of one thing. Tim's not going to like me right now. This car I did not clean properly before we put it on. There's those wheels and tires. They look a lot better when they're clean. They're still sort of partially wet. I gave this car a quick rinse, but I did not properly clean it. The other one I did a quickie clean on, so it's a little cleaner there. And yeah, you're going to have a little bit thicker sidewalls here, a little bit smaller sidewalls there. This is, again, a little more sporty of this trim level. A lot of technology there, a lot of space over there, but still good technology. All right, let's take some of your questions. If I'm missing anything, let me just jump in here and see. What have we got? Not a whole lot. No questions yet. Let's just keep rolling then. Seltos SX, and it's awesome. Great value for the money. So people like it. Somebody said there's some engines that explode. Yeah, no. Okay, yeah. One thing I haven't done yet. Haven't asked for you guys to hit the like button. Do me a favor, if you're on right now, hit the like button. We're going to have 150 to 200 people on from the looks of it. When we have 24 or so people on, that's usually what it equals out to. We've had as many as 700 or 800 people on these recently. But do me a favor, hit the like button, and now let's show you rear seat space. Again, Honda CR-V is a class above this, so you would expect more space in that car. Now, actually, let's make sure the driver's seat is where I need it. So we're comparing apples to apples in both of these cars. Driver's seat, putting it up, actually, it's pretty close to where I need it there. Yeah, so we're fine. Here we go. We're going to actually flip the camera around here. Here's me getting into the back seat of a car that's supposed to be smaller than a Honda CR-V. Guess what? It's not. I got tons of headroom here. And the thing I love is my legs are flat on the seat. Honda HR-V supposedly has similar headroom here, but I don't fit in a Honda HR-V. I'm about 6 feet tall, so specs don't always tell the whole truth. I'd be happy to sit in an HR-V and show you that, but I don't really fit there. I do fit here. My legs are flat on the seat, and check out the knee room. I'm a 6-footer sitting behind a 6-footer. If you're looking for a small crossover that has all the space you need and comes in a lot less expensive than an HR or than a CR-V, this is a great alternative. Now I'm noticing my rear end is a little cool. So what we're going to do with these leather seats that don't get as cold as leather, they don't get as hot as leather, they are artificial leather. We're going to hit this button right here. Oh, the car's off. There's 2 levels of seating. That would have been a way better demonstration if I had the car on. Anyways, the point is, let me show you better. 2 levels of seat heating right there. They warm the rear seats bottoms, and I like to call them rump roasters, and that's what they are. There's also a USB port back there if you got younger people that are charging their phones or something like that. So the USB port is down there. Lots of room there. Let's check out the Sorento, because again, now we're talking more space. The Sorento's actually a 7-passenger at this trim level. Now that seat's too far back, and this one's too far forward, but that's okay. Let's just create some space. This seat, that seat is too far back for me. I just had it back further to film, but we're going to leave it there. These seats, of course, move forward and back. You can create extra space, but let's jump in here. Now what you're seeing is more space again. Now, if this looks pretty good headspace, yeah, it is. Know what's really cool about this, though? Seltos reclines 2 positions, so it has where it had it and one further back. This one's like 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 or 11. It's a lot. So I'm practically laying down here. I'm super comfortable. My legs have more space than I could ever ask for, and you've got tons of space in here. And of course, these seats can move up, so you can create more room for your rear seat passengers because there's a 3rd row here. Carry 3 people in this row, 2 people up front. If you need to take 2 more, you don't have to take a second car anymore. You can take them in this car. They are temporary seats. They are comfortable for an adult, but you don't want to take somebody in there for a long, long time. But again, if you're comparing to a Honda CR-V, you're not taking people at all. Now you can. One other thing, those are USB ports. Both front seats have USB ports on the seat. You also have a USB port in the center. You also have 2 USB ports in the 3rd row seats, 12-volt port there as well. And when you're taking your iPad on a long vacation to the cottage or camping, you throw your iPad right in this pocket here. The cord comes out the side. You plug it down to there or to the side of the seat right here, and you plug that in. And when you take real books along, you put your books here. So whatever you throw on your books, they're not touching your iPad, and that goes there. So lots of options there. And of course, more space in the Sorento. Now, last thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at trunk space and the lighting. The lighting I really want to show you, so stick around for that because it is a really good lighting system. 2021 Kias, they've really updated a lot their headlighting type systems. So we're going to pop open the trunks here, and this over here, those of you who are my regulars, will know that this is my friend, the teddy bear. Teddy bear is what I use to measure trunk space because if I was just to show you this trunk right now and fill the screen with that, it would look the exact same size on the Seltos, on the CR-V, on anything I show you. So many of my videos, if you're looking for trunk space, what I do is I put Teddy in here, I put his tummy up against the back seat, and you can see how much space there is here. There is a lot of space. I could fit easily 2 Teddies in here before I get to the back. There is some underfloor storage space over there as well, but you have a lot of space there for Teddy. Now, floor stays basically level here. You can fold the third row seats are down. We can put them up, but the second row seats can also fold down, and you have immense storage. Before we go too far, this is an SX Seltos, and I'm just going to fix this right here. This is the way it comes from shipping, but I want to show you that this, come on, clips up here. So we're just going to clip that in like that. This car has the, we'll do the same thing over here. You should have done this before I started, but that's okay. Let's throw that in. Okay, so we've got them both clipped up over here. That panel here, of course, is removable. Now, Teddy Bear is going to go in here, and his tummy is going to touch this top when it's down. Because, again, when we shut that, that's the sort of cargo cover that sits flush behind the seats. That's available on this Seltos at this trim level. So to create some extra space for Teddy Bear in the Seltos, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this floor, and right now, if I load something in, it's going to go flat across the back here and flat to the floor. But what I can do is I can create a whole bunch of extra space by sliding that down. It's several inches lower now, and you've got a much deeper trunk. And when I throw Teddy Bear in there, does this Sorento trim have a spare tire under the SUV? Sorento does not have a spare tire anymore. That is a common thing that they're doing among many vehicles. It does have an inflator kit. You have the tire pressure monitors. You can inflate those tires right from the vehicle itself. However, it does not have the tire anymore. This one does have a tire in it at this trim level. So again, Teddy Bear here, still a lot of space in here, and we've lowered the floor so that his tummy doesn't get touched by that panel when we shut the trunk down a little more than it was. So good space in both, probably a little bit less than the CR-V in this one. Definitely more than the CR-V in that one. But the question comes down to how much space do you need? How many massive teddy bears you can take around? And teddy bear is probably 5'2". He's over 5 feet tall, I think, when we stretch him out. He's a big teddy bear, 4.5, 5 feet, somewhere in there. All right, gonna go to your questions again 1 second, and then we'll take the lighting. Teddy's gonna stay there or fall on the floor. Let me just shut the trunks on both so we can do that right now quick. We'll go to take your questions, and I want to show you, like I said, that lighting on these cars because it is a real advantage, especially at night on these two vehicles. So 33 people on right now. I got 19 likes. I want to get to 30. If all of you hit it, I'll get there. We're going to have a couple hundred people on today before we're done. So, all right, what have we got here? Somebody asked, pretty car. Oh, wait, we're at the end. Does Sorento? No, okay, we did that. When will the new Sportage 2022 be available in showrooms? Okay, so good question. 2022 Sportage, essentially a carryover vehicle. You're thinking 2023 Sportage, which I assume would be end of the year or early into next year. 2023, so the redesigned Sportage will not be showing up this model year. We'll talk about that in a second. Let's keep it on these vehicles until about 2 minutes from now. We'll switch over. Not a ton of questions today, so Teddy's basically about my height. I would fit in the trunk. Now you know exactly. Yeah, well, you keep a good sized Teddy around. All right, let me just turn on the cars and the headlights. Push button start on this one, key start on the other one. Headlights are on, fog lights are on. Let's go over to the Sorento. Little sneak peek here. Sorento is a taller vehicle. I'm going to assume it has more ground clearance just from the looks of it. Key start over here. Headlights are on. Okay, there we go. So again, both these vehicles come under the price of a Honda CR-V LX all-wheel drive. And you get really sharp cutoff headlights. So what that means is when I drop down here right away, you get that bright cutoff. And you'll see this is actually a white LED. That's your daytime running light, and those are your headlights. So when we talk about sharp cutoff headlights, let me just bring the camera around. Two things I like. That white color is a much more natural color at night and sharp cutoff. So you get those really bright lights, but they're not shining in people's faces. So That sharp cutoff really matters when you get these kind of bright lights, and the Seltos has the same thing. Now, in my camera, these look yellow, those look white. It's actually identical in real life or very close in real life. These are really bright, so the camera just has trouble adjusting. And you'll see here, and I'm going to turn on the four-way flashers on this car anyways as well, because you also have an LED front signal light on this car. If I can reach it here, there we go. So if you take a look over here, you've got the daytime running lights, so same LED daytime running lights there. Same type of sharp cutoff beam headlights here, coming down, bam, blindingly bright. And even look at the fog lights, they're all individually aimed. 1, 2, 3. See how they kind of move up and down? Real sharp cutoff, and that nice LED signal light there. Again, under the price of a Honda CR-V. Whoops, camera's doing its own thing here. Sorry guys, there we go. And again, you can see that sharp cutoff over there. Both these vehicles have signal lights in the mirrors, so they look basically like this on both vehicles. And we'll show you the rear lights here. Red tail lights on this one, but you have, again, nice sort of design pattern in the brake lights. They do carry over into the tailgate here. Here on the Sorento, higher trim levels have LED lights back here. These are standard lights. This would be your signal. That would be your brake light. So real easy to tell. They are separate lights, not yellow, but they are separate, and a nice design detail there. So there you go. 31 minutes in, we've gone through both vehicles, two CR-V LX price competitors. Now we can move up from here. You can get a lot more options on here. If you like this size of vehicle and you want to keep it in a Honda CR-V type price point, you can absolutely do that. If you really want a lot of technology at the Honda CR-V LX price point, you can jump in under that price point here and have more technology, great power, more fun to drive, in my opinion, by a long shot. I think it's much more nimble. I feel like a moose maneuver in this car is a more confidence-inspiring maneuver for me. You got roof rails here. You don't have roof rails until you move up a trim level. Now, just so you know, if the Honda is a little bit less powerful than you want, you can jump into one trim or two, a couple trims up on this car, still be in that that CR-V price point, but you can get a 2.5 liter turbo engine. This is a 2.5 liter non-turbo engine. The turbo engine actually has better fuel efficiency and 311 foot-pounds of torque. So better highway fuel efficiency in the turbo engine on the Sorento, and you get 311 foot-pounds of torque. So, and all of that torque is available down low in the rev range, right through most of the rev range. So that's an option, and you're still in that Honda CR-V price point. So two vehicles here, and we actually have a third. And if you want to stretch it further, we can go Nero. Nero doesn't have all-wheel drive, but it's a hybrid, and you got all kinds of options in that CR-V price point. So what's the point of this video? If you like a Honda CR-V, go buy a Honda CR-V. If that's your car, I'm not going to stop you. If you want to at least consider the alternatives, if you want to see what else is out there in that CR-V alternative, maybe the Nero gives you way better fuel efficiency, but it's front-wheel drive. It's about the same size. Maybe the Sportage, similar car, panoramic roof at some trim levels, similar option. You want to really step up the technology but save on the price? Seltos is your car. Need a little bit more space, and maybe even a little bit more space and more power? Well, then you want to consider the Sorento. All of those vehicles are going to be in or below the CR-V price point. So that is your video for today. Do you know if the EX Sorento comes with navigation and sunroof? The EX Plus, I believe, comes with a sunroof. I'm not sure if the EX does. I haven't actually seen the EXs yet. As you can see over here, we've got some LX Premiums lined up there. We've got a few others lined up, but we don't have the EX or EX Plus. So off the top of my head, you know what? I'll just check really quickly for you. What does the sunroof come in on the Sorento? The EX does not. Oh man, the sunroof is on the SX, which we've seen. Where am I trying to find it? I feel like I should have found this already. I think it's the EX Plus. Yeah, panoramic sunroof in the EX Plus. So EX, no sunroof in this car, but panoramic sunroof on the EX Plus and the SX in that car. So there we go, everyone. We're going to cut it out right there. I want to thank everyone for joining us. Like I said, yesterday, we had over 40,000 views in a single day. That's all thanks to you guys liking and commenting, and I really appreciate your help. Thanks, everybody, for watching. If you're looking to reach out to us, Gabby is on right now. Anytime Gabby comes on or any of our sales team comes on, I point them out. You can ask Gabby for help. She will happily sell you a car. And if you need any more help, we are here every single weekday at 2 o'clock. We'll go live. We'll do product details. And we also have Kia classes coming up twice a week, which will show you how to use your vehicle. Lots of stuff going on. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We will talk